into an international presence through inspired and unconventional means. Tama has also taught a course in miracles for 25 years. Her topic today is Your Desire is Your Destiny. Please join me in welcoming Tama.
I'm so glad to be here. So I guess I wanted to just start off by asking a question. And the question I want to ask you is it me, or do you think like the universe has like ratcheted it up a notch? like wow, right? I mean, like us individually and then in the world, things are just ratcheted up. And I think it's because we're living in inspired times, and I think the universe is saying the grace period is over. You know, we know these things. We have inspired gifts. You have dreams. You have love. And you have a spirit inside you that can do anything. And you know that. But most of us have been, well, let's study a little more. Let's learn a little more. And I think the universe is saying, we need you now. We need your gifts. And these are our times. So that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about. And, you know, I think that in the world, we're not often taught that we have inspired powers, we have alternative powers. We're taught that there's a right way and a wrong way. We're taught that you could do this or you could do that. But Spirit has infinite possibilities. You have infinite ways of getting wherever it is that you want to get to. So I'll give you a silly example of this. I was thinking about it, and I went home. I visited Florida some years ago. I was touring on my first book, This Time I Dance. And I was in Florida, and I decided to visit an aunt that I hadn't seen in years. And so she was asking me what I do, and I'm telling her, you know, I help people find their passion, and I help people find their calling. And she interrupts me immediately, and she's like, oh my God, Tammy, we know exactly what you mean. We told your cousin Ronnie all the time, follow your heart. Follow your heart. You could be a doctor or a lawyer. Follow your heart. Is that great? You cannot make that up. You've got to be related to it. And I thought, well, note to self, I should visit home more often. Good material there. But I'm here to tell you that we have more than one of two options, right? We have infinite options. But what I know is that if you're not hearing your inner voice, if you're not hearing your inner spirit, if you're not hearing your heart, then you're listening to someone else, right? If you don't know what you want, you don't know what you love, you don't know how to get there, then I promise you, you are listening to something else. You are listening to the voice of the media. You're listening to the voice of an educator. You're listening to the voice of a parent, right? You know, but if you're not listening to your inner voice, who are you listening to? I was listening to my mother. And it's Happy Mother's Day. So I'm bringing Mom into the room. And I knew, you know, when I was younger, I knew that I wanted to write. That was one of the things that I knew early on. I took creative writing in high school, and I loved it. And the creative writing teacher was gorgeous. So it was like, oh my God, this is a sign, you know? There's got to be a sign, right? So I went home to share this phenomenal news with my family. But I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and my family is Orthodox Jewish. So if you said that you want to write, nobody said Mazel Tov. You know, this was not like good news, right? I could have basically said, I want to sell crack. Because it would have been the same thing. Same thing, you're all going to end up under the same. The reasonable woman, the reasonable plan.